Alright, we're going to try and be quick and to the point, which is not something I do terribly well, so we'll see how that goes. So, the point of this is to stop subtracting. Subtract better by not subtracting. Why? Because you can go left as well as right just as easily. Steps to the left, steps to the right, not a problem. You can go up as well as down, no issues. And you can go backwards and forwards, not a problem. People tell you to do one number of steps and then one number of the other kind. You can handle it. And that is all you need for negative numbers, even if you're a child. In fact, children are especially good at those kinds of games where we walk back and forward or side to side. So subtraction is dumb, and it confuses a lot of children, and there's no need for it. We have addition. Addition is nice. You rearrange the terms, doesn't matter. Still the same. Unfortunately, subtraction, 6 minus 2 is 4. 2 minus 6 is not 4. Why? Super dumb. So, we are going to get rid of subtraction. Another issue later on a bit is we have something like this. 123 minus 45. Now there are all manner of different sort of variations on this, but the general theme that people are taught is called borrowing. You have 3 and you're taking away 5, but that's not allowed. So we have to borrow from the tens column. Goodbye 2, you are only left with 1. And now this 3 is actually going to be 13 because the 10 is going here. And now 13 minus 5 is 8. Fine, except we had 13, which is 2 digits in one column. That's a little awkward. Here, now we have 110, take away 4 tenths, also not allowed. 1 minus 4, illegal. So we have to take 1 from this hundreds column. That becomes 0, and this 1 becomes 11, and 11 minus 4 is 7. And now we have 0 minus nothing, so we have 78. But this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare for me as an adult. Look at how terrible this is. For children, this is a complete nightmare. So we are not going to do this anymore. So what are we going to do? We're going to use negative numbers. So my son, who is 7 and who asked me to make this video for you all, learned this new, I don't know how new it is, but new to him method of using subtraction instead of, other way around, using negative numbers, adding negatives in order to do his subtraction. And it was so effective for him that he was able to do very large subtraction problems, even though he's only 7 years old. This one has, I don't know, how many digits does this have? 3, 6, 9, 12. This has 14. We did like a couple of 20-digit subtractions, and then we were like, okay, you got it. So we just stopped practicing it. We'll talk about what's going on here in a second. So, because of place value, we do not have to worry about subtraction nonsense. We can just add negative numbers, and we can even have them built into our numbers. Just like we have 24, we just think of that as a number, but it's not. It's really a set of directions. That's 20 plus 4. That should not come as a surprise to anybody. But we can also, if we're eliminating subtraction, so we only need to use our negative sign for negative numbers. So we can say 20 negative 4 is, by the same logic, 20 plus negative 4, which is just go 20 and then go back 4. So 19, 18, 17, 16. Again, probably not a big surprise to those of you playing at home. So we have this, and we're going to use this to our benefit. So some other little practices. We have, if I have 3, -2, we call that here 30 -2. And 30 -2 is 30 plus -2, which is 28. And we turn it into 28 when we need to give somebody an answer. But 30 -2 is really a number just the same. It's a set of directions. 28 is just the number that people in the real world are looking for. But what we do in our work doesn't need to be the same thing as what we hand in to other people, especially when they don't even care what we're doing. So here's some other ones. Here we have 29 plus 2. No subtraction or negatives needed. That becomes 31, right? Because that's 30 plus 1. Nice. Well, let's look over here. What if we had more digits? What if we had 400 -37? Well, 400 -30, this is, if we go into the tens column here, so we're losing. We're at -3 tenths. So this is like 40 -3. So that's going to be 37 tens with 7. So that's that when we change it back to positive numbers. All positive digits. The number was positive, but the digits now are all positive. Other things. Say we have 30 -1. Right? 30 -1 is 30 plus -1, which is 29. Yeah? What if we have 300 -1? 300 -1 is 300 plus -1, which is 299. What if we have 3,000 -1? Well, 3,000 -1 is 3,000 plus -1, which is 2,999. Because we can just go backwards from wherever we are. It's just not that complicated. So, those are the building blocks. Let's go to the meat of the subject. Alright, so here's the work that Finn did earlier. Finn is my son again. He's still my son, I guess. But he's 7. So here we have, he wrote this too big at first, so then I told him to probably make it smaller or else the number wasn't going to fit on the page. So we've got, let's see, 3, so that's 100 thousands, millions, billions, trillions. 62,811,000,000, 1,900,286 minus, yeah, we're not going to do that, minus 46,085,551,547,348. So this would give a lot of people nightmares, adult or child, but if you use negative digits, it's just not that big a problem. So you just start on the right over here. And so now he hasn't done this, but I will modify what he wrote here. So we have a negative sign, but we don't believe in negative signs. We don't believe in minus signs. We only believe in negative digits. So goodbye. You are now a plus sign. And so we're just gonna put little negative signs on all of our little digits. If we were doing this, actually, we probably wouldn't waste time doing that. We would just know that that's what's happening, just like Finn knew that was happening, so we didn't bother writing him in. But that's going on there. Also, some of you may get mad that I made a -0. It's just easier, and -0 is the same as 0, so don't get too upset. So then you just use place value to your advantage. You just have 6 plus negative 4, well, that's 6, and you go back 4. 2. So whatever, we don't even care what this column is. We know that there's 2 of them. And then here, 2, negative 6, negative 4. 8 plus 0, or negative 0, they're the same, is 8. 1 plus negative 8 is negative 7. 1 plus negative 5 is negative 4, although this 4 looks a lot like a 9, but this 4 looks a lot more like a 4, so we're good. 0 plus negative 5 is negative 5. He's got a drifting column situation here. 0 plus negative 5, negative 5. 1 plus negative 1, 0. 9 plus negative 5, 4. 0 plus negative 4, negative 4. 0 plus negative 7, negative 7. 2 plus negative 3, negative 1. 8 plus negative 4, positive 4 here. 6 plus negative 8 is negative 2. And then, now this is really done, right? Like, if we are okay with negative digits, then this is a number. It's finished. But of course, in the real world, nobody's going to accept that. So we got to translate it for people, and we got to turn it into a number that they're going to accept. So what do? Well, we just go and we say, well, where's our first problem? Here we have 2 and negative 4. So that's 20 negative 4. Well, 20 negative 4 is 16. And here we have 8 negative 7. So that's 80 negative 7 is 80 negative 7 is 73. All right, and now we have like a bunch more negatives. We don't do anything with them yet. We do that later. And now here we get another positive number, and with a negative right after it. So 40 negative 4, so that's just 36. And then we get another negative. We don't have any something to do with that here, here, and then here we have positive. So 4 negative 2, that's 40 negative 2. So back to from 40 is 38. And all those other things that we didn't have anything to do with yet, we just put them in. And then we just iterate that same process. Every time we're going to get rid of some of these negative signs. Here we already have positives, and now we have 30 negative 4. 30 negative 4 is 26. And then we just fill in these negatives. This is for the beginners, right? Like my son. And then here we have 60 negative 7. That goes to 53. There are other ways to speed this up for people who know more and are more confident, but this is a really nice way for people who are beginners. And then we have some extra negatives. We got to go to a new line. Then here we got 60 negative 5. Well, that's 55. And then the negatives just come down. Here we have 30 negative 1. That's 29. And then this was already positive. And then down here we only have one negative to deal with. Here we have a 50 negative 5, and that becomes a 45. And so then we get our answer. Count these 3, 3, so that's, now we got the millions, the billions, the trillions. So the answer in the end, 16,725,450,352,938. And that is how you can do subtraction, even if you are a small child, without having to actually do subtraction. And you don't have to do any borrowing. You can just use negative digits, and that's all you have to worry about. And even a small child can do very, very large subtraction problems, and he can do it well enough, and he can be happy about it, that he wants me to make a video telling other people to do it too. So I hope that this video serves you well. I hope you try it out. If you're a kid, if you are an adult, either way, best of luck. Take care. Goodbye.